Oh, fuck, boys. I think we're actually live. Let's go. Let me make sure we're live. No shit, we are. We're live. Fuck, we're live. We're live. We're live. I got my kitty, bro. Look at my kitty, bro. Her name Yuki. Her name Yuki. Her name Yuki. Her name Yuki. Okay. Alright. Wait, what the fuck? Wait, what the fuck? There we go, yeah. Why is it so tiny? Why it's so tiny, man? Bonk. Okay. Okay, thank you. I love you. Daddy's gotta work. Alright, let's look at these files. These nasty ass files, y'all. Nasty ass files. Oh my goodness. Only tennis shoes allowed on courts. Wow, okay. This dude's a perv. Oh, that's a nice pool. That is a nice pool. Oh, I didn't even see the naked person. The fashion starts here. Diets. Hey, no, don't be clawing up on the door, Stinky. I don't know what this is. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know what this is, man. I don't know what this is. Does anybody know what this is? Anybody? Anybody have any idea what this is? Please, somebody. Please, somebody tell me what the hell this is. Because I have no idea. I don't even know what the fuck this is. Okay, let's keep going. Because that could be something bad and I don't want to get banned. I come from a land down under. What the fuck is this? Oh, Terrence looking ass. Nice. Tits. Probably cum. Or a necklace or something. That was identifiable. Identifiable. I come from a land down under. I mean, these are some crazy photos. And we just got started. It took me a while to find all of this stuff. Like, look, I got this. This is all, like, important and damning evidence. Through everything, like, through all of them, this is the most important and, like, actually damning evidence. I come from a land down under. It's like a 16-year-old girl, bro. You could tell by her height, her like little wrists, her phone, how she's holding her phone. Dude, that's like an iPhone fucking 7, bro. Like 6 or 6, 7. But it is. It's like iPhone 6 or 7. Swear to you. Look at him, just getting off. He's like, oh, I'm gonna screenshot and jerk my shit to that. Oh, man. I don't get it. Is that... Yeah, I don't know. I don't like this stuff. Definitely a mom and daughter duo. It definitely is. Yuki, enough! I gotta go see what she's in, man. She's a bad little kitty. I gotta go see what she got into. Enough! Leave the freaking water thing alone. Freaking goofy little goober. You little goofy freaking goober, dude. You little goof McGooberton. Are you done being a goofer McGoober? Goofy McGoober? She's a call goof and goober at law. I'm a goofy goober! Alright, I'm back. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm very sorry. I'm a very sorry. Very good and very nice. I'm not sure what this is at all. Look at this. Look. So it's like a college dorm. But look. Hold on. Well, what's this? Oh, is this his account? Password? I'll enter your password. Damn. Look at this. Okay, look. Ham in the corner being a creep. And then look. They protected the fucking pedophile predator's identity better than they do the victim's identity. Like, this could be... I could figure out who these people are if I just, you know, went in, cleaned it up, enhanced, bloop. You see every single facial feature with today's technology. That's just asinine. It's just asinine. Okay. I don't know what that is. Or that, or that, or that. Is this a fucking Twin Tower? Is that the fucking Twin Tower? Am I dumb? I could be dumb, but it just feels like, I don't know, that feels weird to me. But yeah, that's number one. On to number two. Okay, let's get to reading. Okay, name, complaint, summary, response, and criminal history. Complaint summary. It says, blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexis that she was approximately 13 to 14 years old when this occurred, and the friend allegedly bit President Trump while performing oral sex. The friend was allegedly hit in the face after she laughed about biting President Trump. The friend said she was also abused by Epstein. Wow, that's some good fucking. That's some good fucking editing right there. Look at this. Something. B-O-B. Barbara, probably. I zoomed in too much. Like, this is what I'm saying. Had a friend. That she has a friend, Leslie McMichael, who was a personal. Yeah, Leslie was a personal assistant. Who was a personal assistant to Epstein in Florida from 86 to 91 or 92. This friend shared names with some of the guests at Epstein's parties, to include Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. Oh, spoke with caller who identified blank as friend. Lead was sent to Washington office to conduct an interview. Results matching name and date of birth for criminal history in South Carolina. Date of arrest 6/18/87 for assault and battery. High and aggravated nature. Wait, what? Hold on. Okay, let's read the next one. Blank blank reported that she has a friend, Leslie. Oh, yeah, we already went over that. This friend shared names of some of the guests of Epstein's parties, to include Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. 2 voicemails left, no response received. None was the criminal history. Oh, this is their criminal history? Why are we caring about their criminal history? That feels weird. Why are we checking the criminal history of tipsters? That just feels kind of weird and deceptive. Is that just me? Is that just me? Okay, yeah. At age 16, while modeling, caller attended 8 parties at Epstein's New York residence. On one occasion, caller reported she was sexually assaulted by Epstein. On another occasion, two twin brothers, Alan and Orrin, lured caller and her friend upstairs, but they escaped back downstairs. Caller stated Orrin raped her best friend and a third brother Tal raped a 14-year-old girl named Katie, LNU. Caller named other individuals involved in big orgy parties with her, other younger girls, and older Victoria's Secret models, including Bill Clinton and Donald Trump. I didn't know Bill Clinton and Donald Trump were Victoria's Secret models. That's crazy. Online complaint. Online complainant reported she was a victim and witness to a sex trafficking ring at the Trump golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes, California between 95 and 96. Complainant reported Ghislaine Maxwell as the madam and broker for sex parties, clients of whom included Epstein, Robin Leach, and Donald Trump. Complainant reported participating in orgies and that some girls went missing, rumored to have been murdered and buried at the facility. Complainant reported being threatened by Trump's then head of security that if she ever talked of what went on there or who she saw, he would end up as fertilizer for the back 9 holes like the other cunts. Jesus. Oh no! What happened? They're trying to shut us down. They're trying to shut us down. Okay. There was no response, none. Criminal history, none. Complainant was spoken to and deemed not credible. Additional research showed 3 separate incidents involving police which requested in mandatory psychiatric evaluations. Possible order of protection matching the name and date of birth. And then this one is, I guess, all of this maybe? I don't know. Why are they highlighted? Okay. Complainant claims to have video of high-profile sex parties, dealings with cartels, and having witnessed Robin Leach strangle a young girl to death at a party. Claims he was contacted by a female victim. No probative information. Okay, hold on. Claims he was contacted by a female victim of Epstein's who wants to publish a book. Complainant provided background for himself, such as working with prominent figures such as Leslie Wexner and Epstein, being pardoned by a U.S. president, among several other pieces of information. The victim reportedly knew about criminal activity that occurred in multiple states and on airplanes, and told complainant there were films of prominent men such as Epstein, Bill Clinton, and Donald Trump, and that Ghislaine Maxwell is in the videos as well. Complainant reported meeting a Lisa Villanueva, something like that, at a hospital where they were roommates in 2000, who now goes by Ghislaine Lisa Venezuela, or whatever. I don't know how to say that fucking name. Complainant was invited by Villanueva. Can you pronounce it? Let me search. Hold on, let me.
Villeneuve.
I don't know how you get Villeneuve from that, but it's Villeneuve. Okay. There we go. Lisa Villeneuve at a hospital, blah, blah, blah. Who now goes by Ghislaine Villeneuve. Complainant was invited by Villeneuve to a party on Palm Beach Island, Florida, to a residence she believes to belong to Epstein. There she met a model scout named Bobby Cox, whom Villeneuve allegedly referred to as a pimp. Complainant stated Villeneuve spoke with a hostess at the residence whom complainant believed to be Ghislaine Maxwell. While at this party, complainant stated that they had all been invited by Donald Trump to a party at Mar-a-Lago. Complainant told Villeneuve she wanted to go to that party, and she was allegedly told by Villeneuve that it was for prostitutes. When complainant was 14 years old, Ghislaine Maxwell allegedly approached her about modeling and international travel and massages. Complainant never reached out to Maxwell because the offer sounded as if it was mostly based around modeling, which complainant was unable to do because of a blank. Complainant made a podcast of her story about her encounter with Ghislaine Maxwell when she was about 14, 15 years old. Spoken with twice. First time said she was a Pilates instructor and went to Epstein's once. Second time called the royal family was contacting her about image of Prince Andrews, and Guthrie claimed she would send email to corroborate No email received. That's weird. Complainant reported... She's probably dead now. Complainant reported his ex-girlfriends, blank, were victims of Epstein's and one was murdered. While working as a limousine driver, complainant recalled picking up Donald Trump in '95 to take him to Dallas-Fort Worth Airport. During that ride, complainant recalled some of the things Trump spoke about on his cell phone were very concerning and described being a few seconds from pulling the limousine over on the median and within a few seconds of pulling him out of the car and hurting him due to some of the things he was saying. Complainant noted Trump repeatedly stated the name Jeffrey while on the phone. One of complainant's ex-girlfriends, blank, told complainant Trump raped her, as did Epstein. Caller is talking about crimes committed against her. She claims to be at prison. Oh, wait, this is different. Hold on. Voicemail left, no response. Okay. Caller is talking about crimes committed against her. She claims to be a prisoner. She references Lisa Marie Presley, the British royal family, President Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein. No contact made. Lives in Australia. Called SNDY hotline, not NTOC. I want to know what all this blurred out stuff is. Complainant reported her neighbor saw modeling gigs at the Trump Modeling Agency in NYC between the years of 98 and 2000. Complainant reported neighbor allegedly went on cruises set up by recruiter or head of the agency, and once showed complainant a photo of the recruiter whom complainant recalled looking like Epstein. Complainant reported neighbor was allegedly raped several times during this time period. Okay. Contact was made, but no contact information provided for actual victim. Caller provided information to reference prior civil case from 13 years ago that involved Trump and mentioned Jeffrey Epstein with a minor. No contact made. Called SNDNY hotline, not NTOC. A hotline's a hotline. Take the shit serious, bitch. You bitch. Complainant following up. Let's see here. Complainant following up after a call with NYPD officer regarding her previous tip, reporting that she was forced to perform sex acts when she was 13 years old and pregnant in '84. Complainant also reported there were high-profile individuals involved in her sex trafficking and the murder and disposal of her new/born daughter. Complainant reported Donald Trump participated regularly in paying money to force her to perform sex acts with him and murdered her and alleged Trump was present when her uncle murdered her newborn child. No contact made. Why was there no contact made? Caller was taken by boat to Epstein's island. Caller said it was complicated and involved Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell. Caller became a school counselor and had a meeting with the school principal, Linda Kitts, and a police officer where the caller was informed there were pictures of herself with Epstein. Caller reported the school was mad at her for not being a Trump person, and that the school wanted her to testify and say things against Andrew Cuomo. The FBI and Donald Trump were on the phone during the meeting. Caller believes the FBI has baby pictures of her with Epstein. I don't know if this is all the same one or not, but no contact made. Previous tips indicated blank had called in and she had chemically induced amnesia and struggled with knowing what was a dream and reality. Oh, what the fuck? Caller reported that in 1987, a friend, victim 1, was out drinking and ended up victim 1 was out drinking and ended up at Trump Plaza. Victim 1 saw Donald Trump and wanted to meet him. An unknown man approached her and offered to introduce her to Trump. The unknown man gave victim 1 a drink, and victim 1 woke up naked and sore with $300 on the bed. Victim 1 didn't remember how she got to the room. She remembered seeing a flash of Trump's face. Victim 1 called the caller and told her she thought she had been raped. Victim 1 did not go to a hospital to have a rape kit performed because she didn't think anyone would believe her, especially because she was drunk. Victim one's husband's business had problems with suppliers and victims. With suppliers, and victim one believed Trump was behind it. Victim one also started dating a lawyer, identifiers unknown, who was married. Victim one had a fight with her lawyer boyfriend and went to a bar. Victim one left the bar with a man who no one in the bar recognized, but who seemed familiar with victim one. Victim one was never seen again. A few years ago, remains were discovered that matched the description of what victim one was wearing when she went missing. DNA victim one was wearing when she went. Oh my god, that's fucking hard to read. So she went missing. They found her remains, and she was wearing what she was wearing when she went missing. DNA tests at the time were inconclusive. No contact made. Victim identified as deceased, and complainant did not have confirmed information. In 2004 and 2005, Sir Ivan Wilzig hosted a party where Jeffrey Epstein, Sammy Sosa, and Donald Trump were in attendance. Patti LaBelle's PR agent stood at the door. At the party, caller met an individual who was approximately 18 to 23 years of age, who was brought from Oklahoma for a modeling job but then sold to a man in France. Several women were being auctioned, and a woman possibly known as Colette LNU was the madam. A couple of years later, callers saw Colette at the Cheetah Club in New York, and she told one of Santos' friends that Jamie Foxx was interested in spending a night with her, and that he could pay her a lot of money. That's crazy. That's crazy. Phone number provided was bad. Could not identify a valid number. Donald Trump, the president, had parties at Mar-a-Lago called Calendar Girls. Jeffrey Epstein would bring the children in, and Trump would auction them off. He measured the children's vulva and vaginas by entering a finger and rated the children on tightness. The guests were elder men and included Elon Musk, Don Jr., Trump, and Ivanka Trump. No contact information provided. And Eric Trump was there. Attorney Alan Dershowitz was also there with attorney Bob Shapiro. We were taken in rooms, forced to give oral sex to Donald Trump, forced to allow them to penetrate us. I was 13 years old when Donald J. Trump R-worded me. Ghislaine Maxwell was also present. Jeez, man. Just a freaking lot. Okay, so... Okay, here we go. Hi, blank, see below. Yellow highlighting is for the salacious piece. I removed the one name, Anthony Coe, because the reporter made no specific allegations. Hey, Sarah, what's the definition of salacious?
Salacious means having or conveying undue or inappropriate interest in sexual
Oh,
matters.
okay, so it's sexual, basically. Yikers, brother. Big yikers for that one. I gotta get some candy over that, man. This shit's hard to read. This shit's hard to read. Not, like, difficulty-wise. It's just, like, really nasty. That this shit's true. You know what I mean? And we still got a lot to go. We still got a lot to go. A burst of candy, if you will. This is good stuff right here. Good stuff. The candy, not this. So some of these individuals are reporting secondhand information. Blank reported an unidentified female friend who was forced to perform oral sex on President Donald Trump approximately 35 years ago in New Jersey. The friend told Alexa, oh, we already read that one. Right? And this one. We already read those. Why are they doing that? We already read that, so they have it in there twice. Shit, and even I have it twice. But on to the next one. On 7/10/2019, 8:28 Eastern Time, blah, 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 called the FBI Threat Operations Center to identify itself as a victim of sex abuse by Jeffrey Epstein and others. Blank provided the following information. In approximately 1994, blank, 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 as a past victim of sex abuse, revealed herself to be blank as a past victim of sex abuse by Epstein. Blank described the abuse that occurred during parties. Blank further identified blank as a friend of blank. Approximately 96, resided with blank and blank. An unknown man abducted blank from her home when she later awoke in the presence of Harvey Weinstein and Sean Carter, Jay-Z, while Weinstein had inserted his fingers into blank. Blank believed she was in Epstein's mansion in Florida. Blank estimated she was abducted on 7 occasions, awaking each time in an opulent indoor setting. Blank suffered from sex abuse on multiple of those occasions in which Epstein participated. Blank recalled Leon Black and William Barr, current United States Attorney General, being present during some of the occasions of abuse. In approximately 2006, Blank last recalled being abused by Epstein. On each occasion, Blank believed she was drugged. Clouding her memory. Blank attributed the drugging as frequently performed by persons assigned as handlers, whom she described as persons who established friendships with the victims. Among her handlers, Blank identified the artist Pusha T. In approximately 2007, Blank attended a party, Blank following invitation from an unknown man who approached her as she walked down a street. Weinstein and Pusha T also attended the party and drugged her before engaging in sexual abuse. Oh my God. Blank claimed to have additional information of other persons involved in the enterprise, and information related to racketeering conducted in support of the trafficking. Blank further believed she was under surveillance and stalked at the direction of the people involved in the sex abuse. Blank confirmed she was not diagnosed with any mental illness. Blank refused to provide her physical address, advising that she maintained no permanent address. Rather, she moved between staying at different hotels. Wow. I'm going to keep this one up because, wow, that's nuts. We might have to go back to that one. Pusha T. Dang. I got multiples. See, look. I hate when I do that on accident. Okay. Wendy, no problem at all to include me on Epstein/Maxwell notifications going forward, but I wanted to let you know that because of my unit move, the office has transitioned me off the case and added blank. So if you wouldn't mind including her on any notifications, please, thank you. And I hope you're doing all right these days, given all of the circumstances. Okay, from subject Ghislaine Maxwell. Oh shit, did I do this wrong? I did. Okay. Back in the 90s, Ghislaine Maxwell recruited a girl for a modeling career. Instead of modeling, she was sold as a slave for sex and torture. Prince Andrew was an accessory to her death as he tortured her and me to force her murder. I need to get a passport to identify her. I will need somebody to contact the passport office to get an expedited passport. Text. Boom. Thanks. And then okay, and then I'm so confused. So this is the reply. He called me wanting me to give him a secure email address. He is from blank. The number that came up is Wendy, no problem at all to include me on Epstein notification going forward, blah, blah, blah. I'm so confused on what this is then. But alright. United States of America versus Ghislaine Maxweller. I wonder how long this one is. Let's just see how many pages real quick. Oh, fuck me. Okay, cool. That's so exciting. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Time noted, called witness have been duly sworn by four-person grand jury was examined as testifies. Good morning, good morning. Would you please state your entire name for the record? Detective Blank. Detective Blank, where do you work? New York City Police Department. I'm going to ask you to please keep your voice up and speak as slowly as you can. Unidentified speaker. By Miss Blank. Q. And you can pull the microphone towards you so that everyone in this big room can hear you. Thank you. Where do you work? New York City Police Department. What is your title? Detective. How long have you been with NYPD? About 15 years. Are you currently part of a federal task force? Yes. What task force? The Child Exploitation and Human Trafficking Task Force with the FBI. What is your title in the task force? Task Force Officer. How long have you been a task force officer with the FBI? Since about 2017. Generally, what are your duties and responsibilities on the task force? Answer. We address cases of child sex trafficking, adult sex trafficking, child pornography, and child enticement. Question. Over the last approximately 3 years, have you been involved in an investigation into Jeffrey Epstein and his associates, including an individual named Ghislaine Maxwell? Yes. During your investigation, have you spoke with other people, including other law enforcement officers? Yes. Have you reviewed reports and documents prepared by others and transcripts of testimonies and other court and grand jury proceedings? Yes. Will your testimony today be based in part on those conversations and documents that you have reviewed? Yes. Miss Blank. Ladies and gentlemen, some of the testimony you are going to hear from Detective Blank will include hearsay. That means he is not going to testify only from his own personal observations. He will also be testifying about what other people have told him and what he has read in documents. Hearsay evidence, as you know, is admissible and proper in these proceedings, and you are permitted to rely on it in determining whether there is probable cause to indict the defendant. But if you want to hear testimony from other witnesses or see particular documents, please let me know, and I will make my best efforts to bring those before you. I think that was, oh, never mind, I don't know. Okay. Question. So, by Miss Blank. Question. Detective Blank, over the course of your investigation, has another member of the FBI task force you're a part of testified before a different grand jury about the facts of this case? Yes. Question. I'd like to ask you to please pick up what should be in front of you and marked as Grand Jury Exhibit 3. Do you recognize that? Yes. Is that a document? Is this document a fair and accurate transcript of testimony given by FBI Special Agent Blank before a different grand jury on June 29th, 2020? Yes. Question. I'd like to read back a portion of this transcript. We will start at page 2, line 18. I will read the questions. You read the answers. Question. Where do you currently work? Answer. The Federal Bureau of Investigation. What is your title? Special Agent. How long have you worked as a special agent? About 3 years now. Where are you currently assigned? I work on the Violent Crimes Against Children Squad. What are your duties and responsibilities as a special agent on that squad? We investigate crimes that have to do with child sex abuse material, sextortion, exploitation, and enticement of minors, sex trafficking. What the fuck is sextortion? Sex extortion? I don't know. I'm so confused. But okay, I don't want to know. And section miss. You can stop there. I'll now jump to page 4, line 13. Question. Have you participated in an investigation of Ghislaine Maxwell? Yes, I have. Have you spoke to other people, including other law enforcement officers, about this investigation? Yes. Have you reviewed reports and documents prepared by others regarding this case? Yes. Is your testimony today based in part on those conversations with other law enforcement officers and documents that you have reviewed? Yes. Stepping out of the readback. At this point, the AUSA provided the same hearsay instruction to the grand jury at that time as I just provided to you all. So that instruction applies with respect to blank. Testimony the same way it applies to blank. It applies to Detective Blank testimony. I don't know. I guess that's just Lane Maxwell's. I don't know. It's a big fucking blank. Detective Blank testimony. We can now go down to page 5, line 17. Question. Blank. We placed on the desk in front of you a PowerPoint that is Grand Jury Exhibit 2, which we're entering into the record. Do you recognize this? Yes. What is it? It's a PowerPoint presentation to assist in testifying today. Did you participate in preparing this exhibit in connection with your testimony today? Yes, I did. If you could please turn to the first slide. Who are the individuals depicted in these photographs? Answer. The picture on the left is Ghislaine, and the picture on the right is Jeffrey Epstein with Ghislaine Maxwell. Based on your participation in this investigation and your review of public source materials, have Maxwell and Epstein been photographed together many times over the years? Yes. Based on your participation in this investigation and your review of public materials, where is Maxwell from? Maxwell was born in France. She grew up in the United Kingdom, was educated in Oxford, and is from a very wealthy family. Is she a citizen of France, the United Kingdom? Yes. Oh, is she a citizen of France, the United Kingdom, and the United States? He said yes. How old is she currently? 58. Has the FBI investigated Maxwell and Epstein's conduct with more minors during the 1990s? Yes. Generally speaking, what have you learned about the relationship between Maxwell and Epstein during the 1990s? I'm tired, yo. I'm freaking tired, okay? I got up early today, like super early, so get off my rear. Get off my hump. I've been streaming all freaking day. Anyways. Okay, here we go. Yes, generally speaking, what have you learned about the relationship between Maxwell and Epstein during the 1990s? Epstein and Maxwell had a romantic relationship, and she also worked for him, managing his homes, hiring and firing individuals. During that time period, was she one of his closest associates? Yes. During the course of this investigation, have you learned where Epstein maintained properties in the 1990s? Yes. Yes! Yes, I have! Where did he maintain properties? New York, Palm Beach, and New Mexico. Turning to the next slide, did he maintain an address in Manhattan located on 9 East 71st Street? Yes. Does this slide fairly and accurately depict that residence? Yes. Okay. Right here. Yeah. Can you please describe that property for the grand jury? It is a 7-story home. It's located near Central Park. It's reportedly the largest residence in Manhattan. Based on your participation in the investigation, did that house include a room that was used as a massage room? Yes, it did. All right, we'll talk more about that later. But for now, moving on to the other properties. Did he maintain an address in Palm Beach, Florida, located at 358 El Brillo Way? Yes. Turning to the next slide. Does this slide fairly and accurately depict the residence? Yes, it does. Could you please describe that property for the grand jury? It's a waterfront estate. It has an in-ground pool and a detached dwelling or pool house on the property as well. Aside from your participation in the investigation and your review of other materials, did that house include a room that was used as a massage room? Yes. Turning to the next property, did Epstein also own a ranch in New Mexico? Yes, he did. Also turning to the slide, blah, blah, blah. Look at blah, blah, yes. Looking at the photograph of the slide, does this accurately and depict that property? Yes, it does. And she goes, and we've been talking about the properties that Epstein owned during this time period. Did he also own a private jet? Yes. Is it fair to say that he was a multimillionaire? Yes. Man, I'm so tired. Okay. Sorry. Yes, during the 1990s, did Epstein have an employee, blank blank, who ran his house in Palm Beach? Yes, he did. What was his job? His job was making sure that everything in the house ran smoothly. He described that Epstein liked to have his house run like a 5-star hotel, that everything had to be in its proper place. So he was responsible for managing that. Have you interviewed blank blank? Yes. How many times? Twice. And it was this information you're about to provide based on your reviews of blank blank? Yes. Ugh. Dang. At the time, Blank came to work for Epstein, and at that time, Blank came to work for Epstein in Palm Beach. Was Epstein dating Ghislaine Maxwell at that point? Not at that time. Was it a few years before Epstein began dating Maxwell after Blank started working there? Yes. Miss Blank, I'm going to step out of the readback. It sounds like the grand jurors are having difficulty hearing. Are you having difficulty hearing me, the witnesses, or both? Grand jurors, the witness, Miss blah blah blah. So, detective, I'm going to ask you to please keep your voice up. Try to shout into the microphone. Can you pull the microphone towards you, lift it, and pull it all the way up towards you? Thank you. We left off reading at page 10, line 11. From what blank blank told you, how did blank work change? How did blank work change once Michelle arrived on the scene? I don't even. He can't even answer that. What work? Like, so annoyed. Blank described Epstein as being more pleasant to work with prior to Maxwell coming into the picture. Once she came into the picture, he said things became more secretive. He wasn't allowed to be in the room with guests, wasn't allowed to talk with them, associate with them. It became a different environment. Me, blank, detective, blank, I'm going to I'm going to ask you to take the microphone and try to put it right under where your mouth would be when you're reading, because as you're looking down, you're moving, what's it say? Sorry. You're moving your mouth away from the microphone. Thank you. Picking back up at page 10, line 20. Miss Blank. Q. You talked about some of the rules that were placed changing. Were there any rule changes about eye contact once Maxwell began staying at the Palm Beach house? Yes, Blank wasn't allowed to make eye contact with Epstein and others. What the fuck? Wait, what? You weren't allowed to make eye contact? That's psycho. That's crazy. Miss Blank, we're going to jump now to page 11, line 6 by Miss Blank. Question. Shifting gears, I want to talk to you about someone else that you've interviewed during this investigation. During the course of this investigation, have you participated in interviews with an individual named Blank? Yes. So for these purposes, I'm just going to refer to her as Blank. Is that okay? Yes. How many times have you interviewed Blank? Approximately 5 times. If you could please just page through the next 2 slides in front of you. Are these photographs of Blank? Yes. It is your understanding that these photographs depict Blank from approximately ages 13 to approximately 17. Yes, it does. Okay, let's take a look at some of those photographs. I'm going to publish the next slide. It is Blank's date of birth. Is Blank date of birth Blank? Yes. Are these 2 photographs of Blank? Yes, they are. If you could turn to the second slide of photographs, are these also photographs of Blank? Yes. Based on your participation in this investigation and your interviews with Blank, where was she living when she was approximately 14 years old? She was living in Palm Beach, Florida. Who was she living with when she was 14? Her mother and her siblings. What was her whole life like at that time? At the time, her father had passed away the year prior, so the family was struggling financially and having with some difficulties. What did Blank's father do before he passed away? What was his profession? He was involved in blank. Was Blank involved in Blank? Yes, she was. Were her siblings? Yes. What kinds of Blank were they involved in? Singing. She was a singer. Like, what kind of singer? Opera in the summer of 94. How old was Blank? She was 13, going on 14. You testified earlier that her birthday was in Blank. So did she turn 14 in Blank? Yes. What did she do that summer? She attended an arts camp at Interlochen Center for the Arts. Interlochen. And Interlochen is a summer arts program located in Michigan. Yes. Did Blank meet Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell that summer? Yes, she did. Did she meet them at summer camp? Yes. What did she tell you about that? She said she was sitting at a picnic table with friends when Epstein and Maxwell walked by. They stopped to talk to her, engaged her in conversation, and asked her if she liked her classes. Her classes and her teachers. During that conversation, she found out that she was also from Palm Beach. This is such shitty punctuation. Like, asked her if she liked her classes, her teachers. It should be liked her classes and her teachers, you fucking pricks. God dang. Blank, and that he said he gives scholarships to students. How did they leave the conversation? Was there any contact information exchange? They asked for Blank's phone number as part of your investigation. Have you attempted to gather records to corroborate that? How? Maxwell and Epstein were all at that summer camp that summer? Yes. If you could turn to the next slide, please. Have you obtained records from Interlochen summer of 94? Yes. And what are we looking at on this slide? This shows what of the individuals that were there were present for that camp in 94. On here is blank. And Have you investigated whether Maxwell and Epstein were also at Intercollection that summer of '94, as Blink described? Yes. Based on your review of records of blah blah blah, what is your understanding of Epstein's relationship with Intercollection? My understanding was that he was a donor to them. Hey, Yuki, knock it off. Hey, psst. Knock it off, please. You're making a mess over there. I can see it. Did he make any substantial donations? He did. He donated a lodge. Did he donate a lodge to the camp in the summer of 1994? Yes, he did. Did he have a long-standing relationship as a donor to blah blah blah? Yes. Turning to the next slide. This is the excerpt of the letters. Yes. I don't want to read all these pages, bro. I really don't. Hold on, let me see what this one's supposed to be. 08774. And I'll just find what we're looking for because I'm getting so annoyed. Okay, yeah, this one is supposed to be. Oh, this is just talks about what he did. Okay. We already know what he did. Let's move on to the next one. This one's going to be talking about 0124. Okay, but oh, we already did this one's same thing. This one's the one about Jay-Z. We said we were going to keep. Excuse me. Reminders, you are to meet up with John Christian and PB on Thursday, November 27th, Thanksgiving. Elon Musk is to go to the island on December 6th. Brockman's Edge art event is on Monday, December 8th in Palo Alto. Oh, fuck. I don't care. Whatever. I don't remember which way I'm supposed to read this shit anymore. ISJ 31 wheels up at 8 p.m. New York, November 8th. Pre-clear 8 a.m. 11 to Zorro. Wheels. Oh, Little St. James 31 wheels up 8 p.m. November 8th. Pre-clear 8 a.m. 11 to Zorro. Wheels up 8 a.m. 17th to Little St. James. Wheels up 1 p.m. Palm Beach 27th. Wheels up 6:30. PB, Little St. James, 28 at 7:27, wheels up 9 p.m. Boston Sun, 30 wheels up, 4. What the fuck? New York, December. 1st, 6 p.m. December 5th, PB, wheels up 4. 7th, San Fran, 9th, Zorro, Little St. James, 15th, the 3rd of January. Jesus, dude. What a fucking schedule. Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be... Oh, wait, hold on. How many people will you be for the heli to island? Probably just Tallulah and me. What day/night will be the wildest party on our island? Yep. Why is that twice? Oh, on your island. Why was it different in the other one? That's fucking weird. Okay. To Elon Musk from Jeffrey, if you find some time, come visit me on my island in the Caribbean. Brings your friend or friends. I will be there most of November and December. To GV from Elani. Probably just Tallulah and me. What day? Why is it multiple? I don't like that. Okay. See, what the fuck? Why is it multiple like that? Those were not the same. Okay. List all present, including yourself. Do not include the CHS. What's this? I'm not sure what this one is, actually. I'm not actually quite too sure on this one, but we're gonna watch it. We're gonna read it anyways, aren't we? We show the piss off. Okay. Date of contact 10/16/2020. List all present, including yourself. Do not include the CHS. Blah 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 blah. Subs to the case file number. Check here for additional reporting and echo. Caption confidential human resources. Human source. Confidential human source. Okay. Oh, gotcha. CHS was asked by the handling agent about information he/she may be aware of related to improper domestic or foreign influence over the electoral process in the U.S. CHS already provided some of this information documented in previous reports, but he/she expanded on several matters as described below. Blank. No. Harvard Law Professor Alan Dershowitz. Why is it Dershow? Why is it too different? That's weird. Dershowitz CHS learned that Dershowitz influenced many students from wealthy families. For example, Josh Kushner and Jared Kushner were both his students. Dershowitz told CHS that if he were young again, he would be holding a stun gun. Yuki! No! Enough! He would be holding a stun gun as an Israeli intelligence Mossad agent. CHS believed Dershowitz was co-opted by Mossad and subscribed to their mission. CHS still continues to communicate occasionally for Dershowitz. See previous reporting. Jeffrey Epstein was represented by Dershowitz. CHS remembered Dershowitz tell Alex Acosta, U.S. Attorney of Southern District of Florida at the time, that Epstein belonged to both U.S. and Allied. That Epstein belonged to both U.S. and Allied intelligence services. That's fucking crazy. CHS shared phone calls between Dershowitz and Epstein, during which he/she took notes. After these calls, Mossad would then call Dershowitz to debrief. Epstein was close to the former Prime Minister of Israel, Ehud Barak, and trained as a spy under him. Barak believed Netanyahu was a criminal. Saudi Arabia, Israel, and the United Arab Emirates are allied against Qatar, Turkey, Iran, Syria. Damn. We're really allied against Qatar, Turkey, Iran, and Syria. One of CHS's blank, who presumably worked blank, asked CHS a lot of questions about Epstein. CHS became convinced that Epstein was a co-opted Mossad agency. Previous reporting. Let's see here. Moshe Drovonka, telephone number blank, is based in Silicon Valley. She has been running a firm called Day One Ventures, which is supposedly an early stage investment company. She used to be Russian President Vladimir Putin's main contact in the Russian youth movement. CHS, where'd it go? Movement, CHS and Dravoka spoke, but Dravoka did not talk at all about technology. Instead, she looked at CHS and said, "You knew Epstein, didn't you?" She said Epstein was a wonderful man and that it was a crying shame what had being done to him. CHS concluded Day One Ventures was in Silicon Valley to steal technology. CHS advised Chabad is doing everything they can to co-opt the Trump presidency. Chabad is basically state-sanctioned Judaism. It is used by Putin to keep tabs on the Russo-Jewish oligarchs. On the day Trump was elected president, Ivanka Trump Ivanka, and Jared were at the gravesite of Rabbi Shearson, who was the most powerful rabbi in the Chabad network. Jared didn't discuss his stake in Cadre because of its ties to the Russian state, NFI. CHS believes this was in the real Russian collusion story. Oh, this was the only real. Oh man. Okay. Sorry, I just got distracted there. I just couldn't believe what I was reading, man. That happens to me a lot. I just get so shocked by what I'm reading. And I gotta double check real quick that I still need to go look at this van at 4. Sorry, okay, let's get back to it as well while we're waiting for our reply. Public, where'd it go? Believe this was the real Russia collusion story. Kushner has moved a lot of Russian investment money around. The FBI should investigate Kushner's family charities to find evidence of corruption and money laundering. Chabad routinely uses charities to launder money. CHS provided the attached article entitled Jim McGreevy and His Main Man by Craig Horowitz, published 9/10/2004. While the article is old and centered on Charles Kushner, Charles highlights and documents the deep ties the Kushner family has with Israel and their history of corrupt business practices and alleged violations of election laws. CHS stated that if the FBI is serious about investigating the Kushners and their relationships with Middle East, they should look closely at Ken Kurson, who knows everything. NFI-CHS advised Henry Kissinger introduced Charles to Koizanki, the Chinese ambassador to the U.S., a relationship that could have been helpful. At around the same time of the introduction, and Bang was entering negotiations with the Kushners over 3/6 Fifth Avenue. Harry Schwindelman has developed Trump's hotels, and is a billionaire. Harry Blank introduced him/her to the Indonesian CIA. Harry Blank speak Indonesian. Harry bought his Beverly Hills home from Trump at an inflated price. NFI. On Blank was at Harry's house when Harry Blank at Trump told him that he was going to fuck Amazon over their military contract. CHS advised that this was a real collusion story. Trump had been compromised by Israel, and Kushner is the real brains behind his organization and his presidency. Igor brokered the sale of Beverly Hills Mansion. Trump acquired for $800,000 less than market value. CHS referenced the attached article that summarized the matter. A small-time scam artist gave Trump a mansion for $0. Why? Published April 12, 2018 by Lance Williams and Matt Smith. Reveal from the Center for Investigative Reporting. Ross Thurston, a Washington, D.C. based attorney and consultant on financial crimes and investigative monetary fraud, and the deal included many faucets that don't add up, and the deal warrants further scrutiny. Investigators should follow up on the numerous oddities and red flags that this series of transactions raises. The Fishkis NFIs signed the deed transferring the Beverly Hills home, the pledge of law, less than real estate investors, political donors. They gave more to $50,000 to the GOP. They were White House and George Bush. President Bush accompanied him to a trip to Israel. Selma Fish said in a phone interview, their daughter and wife of the sales broker, blah, 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 activist President Beverly. Gosh, dang. Okay. Well, we'll finish this later on, boys. I gotta go look at this van. So I'll come. I'll be back after I go look at the van. So I'm gonna go look at the van, and I'll come back and go live again. Okay. I love y'all boys. I'll see y'all in a bit.